You are now tuned in to my skin is my sin.
On Blog
Blog
Talk
Talk Radio.
Radio.
From Growing to God, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule. That's be respectful. Let's be respectful.
You are
You are
now
now
tuned
tuned
in
in
to
to
My
my
Skin
skin
is
is
My
my sin.
Sin on Blog
Blog
Talk
Talk
Radio.
Radio. From Growing to God, we welcome everyone. We only have one rule. That's be respectful. Next week, man. No, man. And definitely shout out to the family, the relationship, multimedia.net. That is, like I said, do the knowledge radio.
The
The
rundown
rundown
with
with
Renee.
Renee.
And
And
My
my
Skin
skin
is
is
My
my
Sin.
sin. And don't forget to share the show, man. If you check it out today,
Or
or
if
if
you
you
check
check
it
it
out
out
this
next
week,
week,
or
or
if
if
you
you
check
check
it
it
out
out
in
in
a
a
thousand
thousand
years.
years.
And if you are that motherfucker that digs us up in 1,000 years.
You are the most phenomenal individual to ever walk the galaxy.
For digging up this greatness and still share our shit.
Man, shout out to you. Don't forget to check out the website, mrochelle.com, designsbymonet.com, and myskinismyfan.net.
What's good, family? You are now tuned in to My Skin is My Sin presents Intellectually Petty Radio, episode 11. And we have the honor and the privilege, and my bad, my name is Jobs. And let me get the plug unmuted. That's my co host. And we have the honor and the privilege of having Baltimore City Council President and future mayor of Baltimore, Brandon Scott, in the building. How you doing, King? And there we go. I think we good. It's connecting to the audio. The fro is looking superb. I might add. How you doing, King?
I'm doing great, brother. How are you? Thank you. I had to pick the throw out, make sure it was right when I got on here.
Right. I all I see is the pick with the black fist, bruh. Like
There it is right there.
That's what I'm talking about, man. How you doing, bruh?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's myself, Jobs, and we got the plug, my co-host, and we got I forget what her title is, but Stephanie is tuning in, but she's on mute.
All right. Well, peace. Good afternoon, everybody. Peace.
Yeah, peace to you, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm healthy. I'm safe. This is
Absolutely.
my this is my first Zoom of the day. My first Zoom of the day, which is a blessing. Normally, I do a lot of Zooms every day, but this is my first Zoom of the day. So I'm glad to finally be out a little bit out, but I'm happy to be here.
We appreciate you taking some time with us.
And my bad, I just like to make sure that the audio is good as far as the live streams are concerned before we get into it, man. And I forgot to ask, man, how's your family?
Everybody's good, man. Everybody's happy and safe. I saw just finished seeing some of my family members out at an event that was going on. So everybody's good, man.
That's dope. That's dope,
I
man.
hope everything's the same for you guys' families as well.
You know what? Just taking it day by day, bro. Just taking it day by day.
I hear
You
you.
feel me?
I hear you, sir.
And if nobody tells you today, bro, we are extremely proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
Thank
so
you.
dope to see a young brother in your position.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you
You
so
know,
much.
speaking of going out with your family, that would take us to our first question, kind of. What are your plans for Baltimore with respect to the COVID?
Oh man, actually, we laid out a plan for COVID, sheesh, way back in March, right? And it's really about. I think we also have to understand that when we talk about Baltimore and COVID, we've seen it around the country, but in Baltimore, we know that COVID, what COVID did was really start to help exacerbate and highlight many of the inequities that already existed in Baltimore City, right? That's the honest thing that I think that we know what happened. And what we said, I actually put out a document supporting Baltimore during and after COVID-19. It's about helping when we can now, right? It's things that we can do at the local level, and then a lot, of course, advocacy that we have to do at the state and the national level as well. And I've been proud of the work that we've done on the council, but I'll just list out a couple of things suggested, right? So one, we did actually in Baltimore, we know that rent and payments and things like that was something that was going to be significantly troublesome for a lot of folks. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a very little that local governments can do about that. So what we were able to do here, and I led the charge, believe it or not, even when everyone is struggling to pay their bills as is, we had some landlords who were trying to actually raise rent
Mm-hmm.
during COVID-19. So we passed a law that went into law that actually right now we're being sued about that said that you couldn't raise rent during the state of emergency during COVID-19 because listen, it's very simple. If people can't pay the rent that you charging them now, what on
Right.
earth makes you think they would be able to pay a higher amount, right? You would think that we wouldn't have to get into a discussion about that, but we did. But then some of the other areas that we touched on, right? We have a rainy day fund in the city. We asked that the mayor spend $3 million of that to work to reduce homelessness. Now they ended up not doing it that way, but they
Mm-hmm.
did do some things where we're doing more for our homeless community. We said that we should establish a loan fund for local and small businesses. That we were able to pressure them into doing that, and a lot of that has worked. Been great work. One of the things that they have not done, and only in Baltimore, only the mayor can decide how money gets spent. As I said, that we know that many of the jobs and things that people lost during COVID are probably
Mm-hmm.
never coming back. And we should get
Facts.
ahead of that, right? That's just keeping it 100. We should get ahead of that and making an investment into workforce development for people who have lost their jobs or career to COVID. And these are a lot of people who have never not worked since they got a work permit at the age of 14. And some of them are 40, 50, 60 years old. And we should spend $8 million at the minimum to actually helping to develop skills for them and change them into jobs and careers that are going to be here. We know that also a city like Baltimore has important nonprofits and cultural institutions that help keep the vibrancy of the city alive, and we ask that they spend some dollars on that. But
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I'm very proud of that we were able to accomplish, we have in Baltimore here a few years ago, we passed a historic law that created the Children and Youth Fund, which meant that a percentage of the city's budget over and above what we already spend on our children and youth agencies and programming has to be set aside for a fund to go directly to supporting organizations working with children and youth in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
COVID, of course, changed all of that, and we had some money sitting there. And we knew that two things were critically important. We knew that our young people were learning at home and they didn't have access to laptops and computers, and we knew that they needed to eat. So we were able to tap into that, giving our school system $3 million more to purchase Chromebooks for our young people and $6 million more to help out with their food delivery. And those are just some of the things that we've been doing. Of course, prioritizing testing, pushing the information out there in every way, doing the rental assistance program that the city has done, just trying to stay ahead of this and let everyone know that this has to be guided. Everything we do during COVID has to be guided by public health guidance, and that getting back to normal is not
Mm-hmm.
good enough for us here in Baltimore. We have to get back to being a better Baltimore that is looking at everything through a lens of equity, as we will now, as we passed and now go into implementation phase of my equity assessment law that will force us to operate that way because normal for us was leaving too many people behind.
Okay. That's dope.
Speaking my bad.
Go ahead, bro.
Speaking of Baltimore, me personally, I am a Baltimore City resident. So having you on and hearing you speak about everything, it means a lot. You know, we're proud of you. My question for you would be is what is your ultimate goal for the city? The impression that you want to leave as, you know, walking into the door.
Oh man, that actually is a easy one for me. What I want more than anything is for Baltimore to be the best Baltimore we can be. Like I always say, I truly want Baltimore to be more because it's different when you've grown up, right? Like I have. I grew up in 21215 in Park Heights, which has up until recently been the poster child for COVID in Baltimore. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
growing up in a neighborhood like Park Heights where the world descends on that neighborhood for Preakness weekend and every other day of the year, we struggle to be recognized as even human. That makes you change. I saw my first shooting before my 10th birthday went to schools with no heat and no air. All of that roots you in a reality of the world that you're going to have to do one of two things. You're going to accept that that's the way things are, or you're going to do the second, and that's choose to change it. And what I want for Baltimore, when I'm done being in elected office, what I want people to see is that I work to start to build those structures and to push Baltimore in a new way forward, as we said throughout my campaign, because we're talking about the birthplace of housing redlining and racial segregation via policy. That started here in Baltimore, in the very chamber that I oversee today. And in order to undo those kind of policies, you have to do it through policy. So what I want to see is a Baltimore that's now, when I leave, that's now investing its capital dollars not into the wealthy neighborhoods, not into the areas downtown or on the water, but also in the neighborhoods like Park Heights, like Sandtown, like East Baltimore, that have
Right.
been forgotten, not by happenstance, but on purpose. A city that's now starting to think and understand that we can look at things in a different way. We can reimagine public safety and investing in how we're dealing with behavioral health, mental health, trauma in our city, looking at substance abuse in a different way, looking at attacking gun violence as a disease, a city that's now being ran efficiently and effectively, where less people are dying, and we're creating wealth and opportunity for our young people for education and building businesses and small businesses in Baltimore. That's what I want to see. A city that is now on that path. That's what I want to see when I'm done.
Man, I got so many
Any,
other questions. I was trying to stick to the script. I'm sorry. I'm trash at doing that, man. I'm working on it. Well, let me ask you this: it's not just black people in Baltimore. How do you get white folks? Not that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how should I word this. Without alienating black folks, how do you do something for white folks too?
Well, it's about this, right? It's about being able to have diverse support around the greater good. And one of the things that was critical about my campaign is what I said consistently when in arenas with my opponents is that, listen, Baltimore cannot afford to have a mayor that's divisive, right? We just can't afford that to where we
Mm-hmm.
are. We need someone that has the ability to be able to go to the street corner and communicate, to the mosque, to the synagogue, to the church, to the school, to the frat house, to the trap house, to the crack house, in the boardroom. And there's only one person in the race that could do that, and that was me. I'm the only person that can go out there, man. I'm the only person that the city has seen in a position like mine who led one of the largest anti-violence movements in the city, where we were walking neighborhoods at 1 and 2 in the morning, right? No one else was doing that. I'm in
Mm.
the next morning being in a boardroom, helping people understand the perspective of folks out on the street. And we were very proud to build a diverse coalition. When you look at my support, if you put up a map, we put up this map of my supporters around the city, and it's lit with dots. It's literally all over the city because we had support among the races, across
Mm.
the ages, across sexuality, religion. We had support from labor unions, support from business, support from grassroots, faith community. That's the way we need a leader because also, just got to be honest, they know, right? And those folks that supported me knew that I was leading on a place of saying, hey, we have to push racial equity in Baltimore and helping them understand that your neighborhood, your city will not truly reach its full potential as long as we're leaving people behind just so your neighbors can feel like they have everything. You
Yeah.
have to be open and honest. I'm never going to shy away from that. That Black Baltimore has to be treated better, and they will under my watch. And
yeah,
let's be very clear. And if that alienates some people, then that's fine by me. Be alienated. We want people who truly believe in Baltimore, no matter what they look like. But the truth, as they always say, shall set you free.
No
absolutely.
doubt.
Do you have any aspirations to run for governor?
Man, I think about that. I'm focused about. I got two jobs I'm thinking about. Finishing out my term as council president and making sure that we are leaving the legislative body in a much better position than even I got it, and being the mayor of Baltimore. What Baltimore has had, unfortunately, in the past, are people who are thinking not about the future of the city, but their future. thinking about how they
Yeah.
working from term to term. What do I got to do to get reelected? I'm going to be a mayor that does the right thing over the popular one, even if it causes me to be unelected. I'm going to be a mayor who wants to be mayor. And what happens after that will happen. But I'm not going to be one of these people who's constantly always looking to the next position because there's too much work to do in this job, and we will never get to where we need to be when you have leadership like that.
That's a great answer.
And don't forget about us when you win too, bro. You know, I don't want the emails turned off. Like, oh,
No,
I'm the
no,
mayor now.
no, emails don't get turned. That look, that's not me, man. That like that's the hard part for me is that like I know my time, right? I gotta be quick because I love to be able to like get my hands dirty and get. So you ain't gotta worry about that.
All right. So thus far politically, if you are at liberty to say, what was your biggest mistake?
Ooh, my biggest mistake. Oh yeah, it's an easy one. This is actually an easy question. We had, and looking back on it, we had in 2012, we had a police chief leave and Fred Bill fell, and I and some other council members, but mainly me, were pushing for a young brother who was a deputy police commissioner, grew up in West Baltimore, Anthony Barksdale, to become the next chief. Well,
Mm-hmm.
he was one of the finalists. They didn't pick him. They picked Anthony Batts from Oakland or wherever he was coming from. I regret now. I spoke out, but I regret now not going harder on that because it could have had
Okay.
more of an impact. And I think that him getting the job forever changed the future of the city.
Mm. Wow. That's crazy. You still talk to the bro?
Yeah, I actually talked to Deputy Commissioner Barksdale quite often, actually.
That's dope, man. That's dope, man. That's just such an I did not see that one coming, bro. Like I must admit, I'm not from Baltimore, but I would legitimately vote for you if I could. So Rome, you need to get your people out, man. Matter of fact, am I allowed to ask a question? Like just random question, but when do you know the last time like, a Republican won the mayor of Baltimore?
Oh, it was a long, long time ago. I used to know the years, but it's been quite a long time ago.
So it's
That
looking good. It's looking great for you.
yeah, but
Yeah.
listen, I'm the guy. I'm an athlete, man. I grew up being a track athlete, playing basketball, football, all that, right? I'm the guy who wants to put the sledgehammer to the ant. That's the way I am. I don't want
Okay.
to just beat you. I want to beat the living snot out of you, right? I
Oh,
want to run. I want to run the score up. That's the way that I am.
I like that in you, bruh. And the honesty is palpable, man. And my bad, Rome. You
Since
know
I
I talk
since
all
I
day.
since I, since I
Nah, you
see
good, bro.
your Detroit stuff in the background, I want to beat you like the bad boy Pistons used to beat people.
Oh man, yes. Well, I was born and raised in Detroit, so I definitely shout out to the Bad Boys. You know, the first and second version. We're not gonna forget Rashid and them boys
hmm
either.
Big She.
Oh my goodness. You know, matter of fact, that would be pretty dope, man. Maybe we can get once the election is over, maybe we can get and Steven Jackson to come to Baltimore.
Oh, that'd be cool, man.
Do a little give back, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll work on that. Actually, I might have a plug for that too, bro.
that'd be good.
Yeah, that just made me think about that. Let's see what we got next, man. What do you feel about the mental health facilities in Baltimore?
Man, I think I talked a little bit about that, but as a community, and really, especially in the Black community, we have to prioritize and take mental health more seriously. I always talk about this, and this is about like personal growth.
Mm-hmm,
I said told you guys I saw my first treatment when I was 10, right?
mm-hmm,
I didn't know until I got to college at St. Mary's in Southern Maryland that everybody didn't experience that kind of stuff. That wasn't normal, and that
right.
like I had a lot of trauma and stuff built in me because I experienced those kind of things, right? And being on a campus that provides the opportunity for me to talk to somebody about that and not be judged and frowned upon changed my life. We have to change the way we operate. When you talk about mental health facilities, behavioral health in Baltimore, we have to reimagine and integrate that more into how We respond even from our first responders point of view in Baltimore, because we're here in Baltimore, the home of John Hopkins University of Maryland medical system. We can and should be having trauma or conditions, mental health people working
Mhm.
alongside our law enforcement to de-escalate things and help people with those things. We passed here in Baltimore this year the Elijah Cummings Trauma Informed Care Act. So now, as I go into the next role, we have to implement that to making everybody that's going to be operating and interacting with people in Baltimore, especially our young people, do it from a trauma informed care point of view. And we have to do that kind of work, and it's important.
That's very dope, man. And also, man, just for the record, we got to stop shaming brothers and sisters
No,
for, for
yes,
for
we
getting
do.
some help. Like that shit is fucking. If somebody tell you they depressed, stop telling them to man up and actually listen.
And manning up is actually getting the help. Like that's
Exactly.
what,
Absolutely.
being a sucker is keeping it to yourself and hurting your family, hurting yourself. Like that's what we gotta understand. Like that's not, you ain't a man. A man can say I'm hurt. I need to talk to somebody. That's
Absolutely.
normal, right? We got to get out of that culture. It's the same thing with COVID. Like we got dudes like, oh, I ain't getting tested for stuff. It's like no, being a sucker is going to your grandmother's house and making her sick because you too stupid to get a test and don't know that you sick. Like that's the kind of thing that we got to get people out of.
Yo, and I've actually had the test. The- It's not as bad as I thought, depending on who does it. Like the first guy that did mine was just an asshole and shit hurt like hell. Then I had a lady do mine and it didn't hurt. So like for those people out there,
Yeah, it
it's
didn't
just
hurt for
a
me either. It
yeah,
was
it's
just
just
wow, wow.
a
Oh,
it's just a swab in your nose. Now they got other ways to do it too. Actually, that's even less invasive. I think they just swab your mouth or something like that. So,
yeah,
you
we
know,
gotta be more responsible on the. I ain't trying to hijack, but on the COVID tip too, man, because I'm seeing like still seeing these videos. We had to shut a club down here this week because last Sunday I lost my mind, man. Somebody sent me a video from this. It's like 1,000 people in there, no mask. I'm like, come, and they're literally in the zip code in the city that is one of the ones that even Trump's White House is saying is one of the dangerous places, right? And like y'all, like
wow.
we gotta do better, man. Like, and we keep saying, oh, why the kids can't go back to school? It's because adults. We're not taking this thing seriously, and we see that, and we know the history of this country and how we are with that the racism and systematic racism that has led to us having these pre-existing conditions, right? So we know that we got to be more careful, and we're being reckless, and we got to stop.
Man. Yeah. And like I'm an old head. So but it's I rem I'm just I'm being honest, man. I'm old, bro. But like I remember back in the day doing just extremely dumb shit, man. Like going to a party that I knew was gonna get shot up and going anyway because I knew it was gonna be girls there. Like and that's the same. Like I try not to put this generation down too much for their dumb decisions because I made equally dumb decisions. It just didn't have pandemic attached to it. So but if you out there listening, please just wear a fucking
Please,
mask because
we
I'm
are
too old to get
mad.
sick. You could literally kill me.
We are
I
mad,
might
bro.
just
And
die on the
I'm
spot.
gonna be honest. It ain't just. I'm just gonna be honest. It ain't just the young ones either. Like
It's not.
it's old heads. You know, I had to have them conversations with some old heads that I know very closely. Like they're like, oh, I made it through Jim Crow segregation. What is little COVID gonna do? I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, what a man.
I'm not gonna lie, man. If God blesses me to make it to 80, I'm tapped out at that point. I don't really care. I'm not wearing no mask. I'm not doing nothing. Whatever y'all say, I'm going to be just the cranky old man. So just throw me in a home and forget about me at that point. Just putting that out there. Let me let me see what else we got. The best advice you have received from a stranger.
Oh man, I know it. I was one day. Best advice, unsolicited advice I always get comes from the supermarket because people know which supermarket I shop at, right? And they know, that they can catch me there. So I was in the supermarket one day, coming out in the line, bang out, about to go out the door, and a guy just stops, looks, and says, "Oh, Brandon." I want to tell you something, man. I've been waiting for the day that I get to see you. They told me you shopping here. I've been waiting for the day to get to see you. I was like, what's going on, man? You got an issue? He's like, nah, I just want to tell you something. Stay true to yourself. Keep doing what you're doing. And when he said that, because normally someone's they're looking for something, right? They need help
Right.
with something, which is great.
Yeah.
But he was like, stay true to yourself. That was it. That's all he wanted to say. And then he was on. He was like, I'm out, gone. He was gone, back, gone in the store doing this business. Best unsolicited advice I ever got from a stranger, ever. In the Giant on Sinclair Lane in Baltimore City, right there.
That's dope. Do you have so as mayor? Because can the mayor go grocery shopping still, or will you have
Well,
like people to do that for you?
I can tell you what I'm going to do. I can't speak for nobody else. I can shop from the damn self. No one else is going to be doing my grocery shopping. No one else is. No one else is going. No one else is going to be doing my dry cleaning. That, I'm big on that kind of stuff, man. Like that, for example, I won't be able to avoid it as much when I'm mayor, but typically the council president has someone driving them. I was like, I can
Mm.
drive myself. No,
See,
we don't need
I
that,
would have
right?
taken a
That's
driver.
just the way I am. No, not
That,
me.
that's why I'm not running for
Good.
shit, man. I know I would. I'd take advantage, man. I'd be Trump. I'd be golfing 300 days out the year, and somebody would be driving me, man. I'm not moving a muscle. Y'all gonna
Well,
carry me into McDonald's, like.
no, it'd be like you be like Dave Chappelle when he acted like Diddy on the real.
Absolutely, man.
That's
Oh,
good breath.
Cambodian, right? Cambodian breast milk.
Cambodian breath milk.
all right. The first thing you did after you found out that you had won the nomination for your party for mayor, and I don't mean politically, I mean just personally.
Oh wow! Don't laugh when I say this, but when I found out that I won, we were literally in budget hearings, virtual budget hearings. I was sitting where I'm sitting at now at home, and my phone kept ringing. And I'm going crazy on the Department of Public Works about some issues during their budget hearing. And my campaign manager keeps calling me, I keep hitting the no button. And then he texts me like, "You won." I said, "Okay," and just went. I just kept working. Didn't even like that. To me, that's how I am. I won. That was over. It was work to do. We had a budget that we had to pass. Had to stay focused on that.
Wow. I'm that one. You got me stumped on that one, bro. Like no celebration. You didn't go home, pop,
I
pop
was
some
already at
champagne,
home.
something.
Well, I don't drink. Just to give you, I don't drink alcohol. I don't eat meat. Only seafood. I'm from Baltimore. I eat crabs, but none of that. Never had alcohol in my life.
Wow. You might be the first person I've met that never had alcohol.
Never.
Salute to you,
That's,
man.
that's
Jesus,
commendable, man.
right? I'm not letting my wife watch this one, bro. I'm sorry. You are the perfect
That's how I keep the gray
person.
hair. Look, you see, they ain't giving me no Obama grays yet. Man.
Yeah, and you can see I'm all over the place. I look like Santa Claus. I do, man. It's bad. Let me see. We did that one. We did that one. I think we did that one. And you already,
You knocked
I
out a
think,
lot of them.
yeah, like you answered most of the questions that we kind of gave to your people just to let them kind of know where we would be going. Um, are you scared of becoming too political?
No,
That
two
was
things.
easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. I grew up in my family, in my neighborhood, with my friends. That ain't even possible for me, right? And folks like to say, my staff sometimes like we had town halls, and people are yelling and screaming, and they're like, "Man, you don't even budge." And then I say, "Well, you want to see how that becomes normal?" And I'm used to. I'm like, "That ain't nothing." It's like come to a family event or come to my. I remember the first time someone from work came to my our weekly basketball game that we haven't had since February. With my friends and my close friends, like all of us have been friends for 20
Mhm.
something years.
Right.
They came in, and my best friend and we can, if we're on the same team, look out. But if we're on the opposite team,
It's
you
not a
would
good
think
look.
you would think that literally that we're like I'm Bill Laimbeer and he's Scottie Pippen. Like that's how
Oh,
bad it is, right?
oh.
And the person was like, I thought that was your best friend. And like we like it is. And we're like, well, why y'all talking to each other like that? I'm like, he ain't my best friend while we playing against each other. I want him to lose, right? That's the reality. But it's that accountability. And that's the thing. You got to have people around you who hold you accountable. So my
Mm,
community, because I'm visible in my community, people in there that can talk to me, they can touch me, my family, my staff, my friends. I don't have to worry about getting too quote unquote big headed because one, that's not my nature. But also I know that my accountability partners, they gonna check me at the door. Right? You know, there was a story that actually came out this summer
mm,
on a local TV station here in Baltimore, right? During COVID, they was having some problems with the city and state crews cutting grass in the median. Well, little did they, news station just happens to show up, roll by, and I'm cutting the median of a grass. And like, why you out here cutting the median, Council President? My dad is down there, like, because I told him he had to cut it. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I ain't the council president or the mayor or jack shit when I'm with them. I'm Brandon and I'm gonna do whatever they tell me to do. Like that's how I know I don't have to worry about that.
That was
God,
beautiful.
man, that's crazy. And man, rest in peace to my moms, but my moms would be so like that. Cause I told her, what are you talking about? She's like that, man. That's classic right there. Shout out to your pops. You
Yeah,
know,
man,
and
I'm so happy that my baby brother is in town for some stuff for his job that I don't have to do the leg work this weekend. That's all on him because whew, boy, they wear me out. What? How many hours you got off today? I need you to do such and such, and another needs you to do such and such. And it ain't even a question. You just gotta do it, man. That's how I was raised. That's what keeps me level headed.
wait a minute, your brother just you he tell you to do something and you just
No,
do
no,
it?
no, no. I'm saying that my brother's in town this weekend. He had to
Uh,
come here for some stuff he had to handle. So I don't have to do it because my dad is making him do it.
oh,
Normally, since I'm the only one that lives here now, it would be
it
all on
falls on you. Okay, I
dad,
got you.
on me. Yeah.
I'm about to say, man, because my little brother don't do nothing I tell him to do.
Nah, yeah, you ain't gotta worry about that. I'm the boss with them too. I'm the oldest, so
I am too. He don't nothing.
uh,
Like just
no,
listen. Oh,
that don't work for me. I'll tell you a funny story. He'll die if he ever sees this. So he pays his. You know, we started out all on the same phone bill. Like when we
mm-hmm.
were in high school, I had my phone first, so we're all still on the same account, even though everybody has their individual bills that they pay. But you know, the master account can still cut people's stuff off. So I called him on the phone like twice. He ain't answered. I texted him. He ain't answered me. I went logged on to Sprint.com, blocked him out. The next thing I know, my sister-in-law is calling me. He I'm like, hey, what's up? He like, this ain't her, this me. What's wrong with my phone? I said, answer the phone when I call you. Now you want, now you can have your phone back. They don't play that with me. Mm-mm,
That's so petty, bro.
mm-mm. I'm the big brother. Will always be the big brother. That's how it's gonna be.
That's how I go.
Oh my goodness, man, that is classic right there, man. I guess I don't have that opportunity, but it got to be something along those lines. I have to try that out, man. But
You
that's
gotta let them know they try you.
oh my god, man. I can tell you stories, bro. And I know that we only had like a certain amount of time allotted, so I don't, want to hold you past that. I don't
We
want to get
good.
in
I
trouble.
got like 10 more minutes before
Okay, yeah, I don't want to get in trouble with the. I don't want them sending me bad emails, man. I
yeah, no,
hate bad emails. I do, man. I get scared of bad emails. I don't know how to respond to them all that good. And then I'm an overthinker, so I'll think about the email for like a whole damn day. I just, I just will. I'm sorry, man. Let's see. We did that one. We did that one. You did that one. And I think you touched on it a little bit, but any new job programs for the youth of Baltimore that you got
yeah.
coming?
Yeah, so this year we had our summer youth works program virtually as everything else was because of COVID. But we're really looking forward to expanding the youth works opportunity to be year round and making it more of a program where they're not just working but learning, but also opportunities we'll be creating as we ascend to the mayor's office, willing that the vote is sent us there after November, because we want to create what we call like a youth cabinet. We have a youth commission, like a youth council. But we need like a youth cabinet where every agency it will have a youth shadow, like we'll have a youth police commissioner, youth health commissioner, youth DPW director to consistently involve young people into our government.
That's dope right there. Like I really wish they'd have had something like that when I was coming up. I'd have did something like that, you know. You law whatever a lawyer is in city
Right.
government.
Yeah, a youth solicitor, be a chief solicitor
I
for
say
us,
I'm a
right?
horrible citizen. I really am. But I will be voting this year. I do vote. I take that pretty serious.
Yes, sir.
And if you are in Baltimore, please make sure you go out and vote. When is the election?
You know it. You know when it is. First Tuesday, November. There we go. Everybody come out. We got.
Make
We got.
sure.
We gotta make sure we gotta get him out of here. We already know who we talking about. We can't have it. We can't have it. We
Yeah,
can't have it.
can't take
We
no more of
can't
that.
have it. Yeah. No. Whew.
Yeah. Do it for the people. Do it for yourself. Do it for your soul. Let's get it popping. And the afro is on point. Like where can you can't go wrong with a brother with a perfect afro. I've only seen like two of them in my lifetime. Michael Jackson, and I'm trying to think of who the other one was. Michael
Jim
Jackson had a
Kelly.
crispy. Who?
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly's afro was perfect. Yeah, Black Belt Jones.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. You trying to say that Eddie Griffin's in that movie? What was he called? That one?
Undercover brother.
Undercover Brother. But that was fake though. I don't think
know.
that was. Yeah, you know that was a wig. I can't give you props for that one. I totally out of off the beaten path question. Hip hop. Who's your favorite MC?
Oh man, of all time.
Yes.
Woo! Man, look, this is hard. So nothing gets discussed in my office more than outside of politics, of course, is hip hop and sports. Um, I and this is something that has evolved and changed for me over the years, right?
Mhm.
I now going back and looking and listening to the amount of hip hop that I listen to, which is a lot. Black Thought is actually my favorite MC.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, man.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, good pick. Good pick.
So, but look, I'm gonna tell
Just-
you, I'm gonna tell you, I have a top five, right? Right.
Okay.
I'm from Baltimore, so and he went to the same middle school that I went to, so Pac's always gonna be in my top five.
Oh my
Always,
God.
always, right?
Pac is the goat. I'll give you that. Pac
Yeah,
is the goat.
he's always gonna be. You already know about Black Thought for me, right? Nas is always gonna be there for me. Always gonna be there for me. Illmatic alone is enough, and Ether. Like, and someone asked me the other day, it's like, you think they'll do a Jay-Z versus Nas versus battle? I said they did that already. It's called Ether. But
yeah.
they did that already. They call it Ether. But then that's where it gets tricky for me, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm also, now if you ask me what's my favorite group, it's not even a question. Now Black Thought's my favorite MC, but the Roots are my favorite group. It's Wu-Tang all day, right? So I gotta have
Okay, no, we got Bone Thugs, bro.
No,
And it's not because I live in
man.
Cleveland, man.
come on.
Bone
Like,
Thugs
I
is
got a
just,
homeboy, Silas. If you watching this guy gotta be, y'all's gotta be related to you. And because that's only two people I know. And maybe this is a a Detroit, Ohio kind of thing where I love Bone Thugs, right? I love them to death. But comparing Bone Thugs to Wu-Tang is like comparing Lil Wayne to Rakim. There ain't no comparison.
Thank you.
Ain't
Oh
no
man.
comparison,
okay,
bro.
but you know how I judge greatness in hip hop is did you change hip hop moving forward after you arrived as a result of what you did? Nothing in hip hop changed as a result of Wu-Tang.
Oh,
Nothing.
stop right there.
You're
Oh,
crazy.
I got it, Rose. You ain't, I got it.
Oh.
Not just hip hop. Let's stop right there. Not just, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go walk you through this, right? But let's just remember this.
Okay.
Not just hip hop changed, the music industry changed after Wu-Tang. Remember
What
that
changed
contract.
in hip
Hold on.
hop as a result of Wu Tang though?
Here we go right here. First of all, you didn't have group members able to get solo deals on different labels until their contract. That's literally the first music contract in history that allowed for that. It
Okay,
changed the game.
I give you that.
It changed everything, right? Think about
Hmm.
it. You wouldn't you the Hot Boys, Lil Wayne would still be a Hot Boy if it wasn't for Wu Tang Clan, right? Like he wouldn't exist because they wouldn't been able to do what they did. No Limit and then wouldn't be able to do what they did. You know, Dungeon and the folks in the South, like that's all because of Wu Tang. Like that's the reality. Then when you think about people, there will be no Kanye. Well, and that's debatable now anyway. But there will be no Kanye if there were no RZA. Like there will be no Ninth Wonder if there were no RZA. All of those kind of things. And we talking about the Purple Tape, the greatest hip hop album of all
Oh, it's stop. It's not, bro.
is the
You're
Purple
crazy.
Tape.
It's not. It's
Yo,
not.
you
It's
would
not.
not
It's
disrespect the purple tape, bro.
the
You would
either
not
the
disrespect the
chronic or either the
Oh,
chronic or doggy style are the
oh
greatest.
my God.
Oh
You
Stop it,
gotta
man.
man.
be
Y'all have
kidding me.
got
Yo,
to stop.
purple
Stop
tape is
it,
There's
man.
better, bro.
only
And
there
and
it's
Black
only
Thought for the record, Black Thought is absolutely horrible, and I hate him. Just have to say
oh
Listen,
my God.
he look, but
Oh,
look, he
you
hates Black
gotta
Thought.
be kidding me. You
He hates
got
Black Thought. He hates Black Thought because he went to a Roots concert, went backstage, and Black Thought played him
It
like
was
a
not.
dude standing backstage at a
It was
Roots
not a
concert.
concert. It was not a concert. It was at the Rock and
It's a
Roll
meet
Hall
and
of
greet.
Fame here in Cleveland about 15, 20 years ago. The rest of the Roots was really cool, down to earth people, and dude was just extra Hollywood. He was
you
just an
know what?
asshole.
Hey Jobs, he probably could smell the bone thugs on you. That's why. Come on, he was fine when I met him a couple years back. But I just want to, and I say this to, and I gotta say this for all the young people listening too. When it comes to the greatest hip hop albums of all time, it's Illmatic or the Purple Tape. That's it.
See, man,
That
oh my,
I'm not
I,
mad at that though. I'm
East
not mad
Coast
at that. Like,
bias though.
There's no East Coast bias. I just said pop for crying out loud, even though he ours too. But it's not East Coast bias. I love the Chronic. The Chronic is a top 10 album of all time. Doggy Snoop just whooped DMX's tail on a versus a couple weeks ago. But Doggy Style of the Chronic. Now, Chronic is one of the most important hip hop albums of all time for sure.
but it's not better than the purple tape.
It ain't
It's
better
just
than
not.
Purple
It's,
Tape.
I'm listening to. There is nothing I'm fast forwarding on the Chronic or especially Doggy. Like Doggy
Crazy,
Style to
man.
me is the
I
is
just
the
want to. I
perfect
just
CD.
want to. What you? I mean, you got 20 skits in there. You got more skits than songs, man. What you
But the
talking about?
skits mattered, especially at that time frame. Everybody was doing skits, but his
I
skits
know.
were the most cohesive and made sense
But
of
look,
almost anybody.
nah.
Yo,
Shark. You know what? On the Purple Tape, it's like the best skit ever.
mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
now think about it, and this is the other thing about Wu Tang, right? You had all that beef going on, right? And ask Joe Buttons about Wu Tang. But you had all that beef going on back then. You had them literally tell Biggie, you bet not bite off us. You done bit off Nas album, which let's be all respect to the GOAT
That's
Biggie.
fact.
They bit Nas album cover with Biggie's first album cover.
Yeah, they
And
did.
then you had Ghostface literally say to them on wax, you bet not bite Wu-Tang. Bet not do it. And what did he do? Not only did he not go out and bite Wu-Tang, he said, hey RZA, can I get some beats? That's what he did.
Right.
That's how you know that Wu-Tang ain't nothing to mess with. You already know
Man,
that, man.
every group since and it goes back and forth as to who for me started the sing songy style. It's either Speech from Arrested Development or Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
Like
It's not
like
Drake.
it is
Anybody can
not.
keep saying that. Let's
No,
stop. Drake
no.
and like you even think, and actually one of my favorite MCs now too. Drake gives a lot of credit to Fonte, little brother, right? Because he also does it in a different way. And he got some dope music. But you got Bone Thugs, you got Speech. Come on, man. They need to stop with that stuff.
Yeah, they do. And we actually shout out to Speech. He actually was on the show before. That's pretty dope.
Oh wow! And that video that DJ Cash has with everyone passing the mic.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
fire.
that's the best video of the year,
Oh my! I was literally just watching the first one before we started the show today. Literally
Yes.
for the hour before. I'm in this bitch sweating, doing the old man two step. I'm telling you, man, it was classic.
Yeah,
Um
that's really good, man.
the speak since we on the verses, man, and did you see 2 Chains and Rick Ross?
No, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. After we done had RZA Premier, Snoop DMX, Erica, and Jill, you couldn't pay me to watch Two Chains and Rick Ross.
I mean, well, Rick Ross ain't no joke, man. Rick Ross catalog, low key, might be on par with anybody's catalog. But
Oh my god!
are you kidding me, bro?
I'm telling you right now, if I'm listing my top 40 hip hop albums at all time, Rick Ross and his security vest ain't getting on.
Man, I'm telling you, apparently it is the Baltimore listening ear because it's like
It's not.
listening to
People in
Rome all
Baltimore,
over again.
people that look at me. I'll put Bone Thugs on that list. I ain't putting Rick Ross on it, brother. I ain't doing
Oh
it.
my goodness,
I'm not
man.
doing it. And
Rick
Two
Ross is
Chainz,
dope.
I'm
And
not
Two
even happy.
Chainz, low key, like I had completely underestimated his resume. Like most people were saying that Rick Ross like destroyed him. I didn't see it that way. I thought it was like a tie.
I'm just gonna say it like this. I told a young brother that worked for me the other day. I said, if y'all want to, if they want me to be in participating in a versus of the South, right? They gonna have to say, okay, we gonna do everybody else versus organized noise. That's like that, and I'm like, that's what they're gonna do. Like, show me No Limit versus Cash Money in the verses. I'm interested in that.
And
Right.
actually, man, I would take
Show me the
damn,
rest of
damn.
show me the rest of Atlanta versus Outkast and Goody, and I'm good. And I was like, and Outkast and Goody gonna win because if all else fails, they gonna pull out all Andre 3000 verses on everybody else track, and they gonna get slaughtered. Like that's the reality. That's the
I mean, but
South.
you can't disrespect Big Boy either, man. Big Boy
No, Big Boy
was
shout. I
was
met Big
nice.
Boy last year. No, both of them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite groups of all time.
yeah.
Okay.
I would take out Organized Noise. What's old boy out of Houston? What's the old dude that
Scarface.
got who?
Scarface.
Not Scarface, his boss.
Oh, Jay
Oh,
Prince.
yeah, Jay
Yeah,
Prince.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
them together.
I
Yeah,
rap a
yeah,
lot. I would take
yeah.
Rap a Lot Records versus Organized Noise.
Oof,
That would
that's
be
the battle.
cold.
Yeah, that's a
That's the
battle.
battle.
Or low key with people, this is for you young people out there. Go check out Swab House.
Oh yeah, I don't know about
Like
that.
Swab
Yeah,
House was
yeah.
killing them back in the
That's
day.
that's the real right there. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that is the
no,
real.
I look
Well,
at me. Mumble rap don't do it for me, brother. It just ain't gonna work for me. I need some verses.
some of it I
Oh,
actually
like
like.
this guy, man.
I need some verses. And I'm just gonna say this: if they do Bone Thugs versus Wu Tang, that's gonna be a short one.
It
No,
sure
that's
will.
no your boys will be Wu Tang out the picture.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm
Look,
telling you, oh
okay.
my God, are you kidding me?
Hey, Easy E ain't walking through that door.
At all.
Easy E didn't do anything for them but sign them. That's it. Like we don't want to even talk about hits. Like they one of the biggest
It,
groups
it
in the history of ever.
don't compare to Woo, bro.
It doesn't.
Oh my
They
goodness,
don't
man.
compare to Woo, man.
They
Like,
don't.
That's
I love them
East
to death.
Coast bias.
No, that's
Yes.
reality, man.
No, it's East Coast bias. Like, look at everybody y'all done named is somebody from the East Coast. You give love to a couple of other people, but for the most part, everybody that's dope, in y'all opinion, is from the East Coast. And since we on it, Pac was only in Baltimore like 5 years. That is not being from
Hey,
Baltimore.
I ain't say he was from it, but where does he say he got his acting and musical skill? We know where he got it
thank
from.
you.
You know what? I think they
Thank you.
pass out that answer when you hit Baltimore
Thank you.
city limits.
And
'Cause-
it's not. That's what he said. That's what he said. Hey, we didn't say that, and we got. And actually, someone I'm actually. So y'all know that infamous picture of him and Jada from high school.
Uh-huh.
They actually cut a good brother who's a friend of mine out of that picture. He still has the picture today. He still has
Wow.
the picture today. Yeah, he's a good brother. A good brother, man. Good brother.
Wow.
Yeah, man, come on.
That
This is okay. Let's just go through a couple rounds of Bone Thugs versus Wu Tang. All right, they gonna throw out Crossroads. We already know.
yeah.
They gonna throw
Yeah.
out First of the Month. We already know, right?
Yeah.
Ruggish Bone.
They gonna throw out Thuggish Ruggish Bone. They gonna do the joint with Bone and Biggie. We already know what's that.
They're gonna do the one with Bone and Biggie and Bone and Pac. Like people be slipping on the one with Pac.
Yeah, they gonna do the one with Bone and Pac too, right? Yeah, that ain't gonna save you. First of all, like
Oh,
I said before, we can just play the purple tape and walk away. But we
If that's the case, we could just play East 1999
oh
Eternal.
my god.
And that clowns any Wu
Come
Tang
on,
anything,
Charles.
bro.
Look, man.
Come
Listen,
on, man. Y'all gotta
we
show some
know we
put some
know that
respect
y'all
on Bone name, man.
we know y'all not used to winning, man. Like we know that. We get it. We took the football team from Cleveland. You know, LeBron came back. We get it. But come on,
I'm not originally from Cleveland, so that don't really I don't really care about that one. That don't burn, that don't sting
all right.
me.
Well, how about this? The Lions the same way, man. Like, come on,
that
man.
hurt.
I mean, it don't. You know why? You know why it doesn't hurt? Because every other sports team from Detroit has won a chip. Everyone.
You talking about the golf team? Like, man, nobody care about that.
I'm talking about the Pistons have won. The Red Wings have won. The Tigers have won. Like when was the last time the Orioles won? Like the 70s?
You said in '83, but yeah, you said did you say the Red Wings?
The Red Wings is a freaking
Right.
dynasty. It's in
We're talking
several
about
decades.
We're talking about hockey now.
Oh yeah, y'all don't have a hockey team, do y'all?
If that's the case, but we like.
I forgot. I forgot
the
about that.
Capitals just won. We just won it. Like,
What's your basketball team?
oh, hey, look, man.
There you go.
I'm sorry. What was the name of them? I didn't catch that. I'm sorry. My bad.
Hey,
Hold on.
we heard
Your Detroit Pistons. Your Pistons had a chance to draft Carmelo Anthony and didn't. Like,
Then they still want a chip.
you would have had multiple chips with Melo.
would have had multiple.
How many has Melo got?
Melo don't have an NBA championship.
Exactly.
Everything else though.
So he would have benefited by playing for the Pistons. Yes,
No, the
Darko.
Pistons would have
Yes,
benefited.
Darko. Yes, Darko
They
was.
drafted Darko Milicic.
And you know what? Darko was not bad. He went on to have a decent career. The coach just didn't play rookies and ruin his confidence. Like he wasn't a bad pick. It was a bad pick for Larry Brown. He shouldn't have. They shouldn't have picked him for him.
Darko is the white Kwame Brown, man. I ain't trying to hear that, man.
I think he ended up averaging like 13 points a game though. Like that's serviceable.
We heard that y'all
number two
team,
pick.
we heard that y'all NFL team was called the Michigan State Trojans now because the Lions is that bad. That's what we heard.
Oh, the Lions are trash. Like and you not the thing with Detroit Lions fans is that we know our team is gonna stink. So we
Shout
don't
out
have
to Barry Sanders,
hopes.
though.
Barry Sanders is the GOAT. Like
All time. Best running back of all
Ever.
time.
Ever. I don't think it's
Period.
close.
Period.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the Emmitt Smith talk. Period.
Stop
Barry
that
Sanders.
shit, man. Yeah. Like if Barry had that line, he would have probably had twice as many yards as anybody else to ever play.
Man, Barry Sanders on Madden 99, you couldn't tackle him, man. You couldn't tackle him.
That's like beating Mike Tyson and what was
Punch
that?
out.
Punch
Tyson
out.
Punch out, right.
Oh my God, that's taking it classic. Hey man, and I shout out to your team, man. Stephanie, and I can't remember the other lady's name, but shout out to her too.
Sydney. Mm-hmm.
Sydney, you are dope. Hope the vacation was even more dope. Appreciate the love, bro. Like it's nice to have somebody in politics that looks like me. That's just not like stuffy.
Yes,
it's just a regular brother that gives a shit about black folks.
Yep, that's how it is, brother. Appreciate the time, man. Thanks for having me, yo.
Oh man, it was my pleasure. And don't forget, man, after you win, when the dust settles down and they can pencil you in for another, half an hour, let us know what it's like, bro.
Absolutely, man. Good to have y'all. Thanks for having me, brothers. And the last thing I will say before I leave this Zoom is Wu-Tang forever.
How did I know, man?
Peace, y'all.
Peace. All right, Ro. Shout outs. Let's go. What you got?
Big shout out to Brandon Scott, man. Shout out to the city of Baltimore. Shout out Keys Development. Shout out 300 Gangsters. Shout out everybody tuned in. Shout out Not Safe for Ears, man. Shout out Nick and his team, man. We appreciate the look. And
Man.
holla at us next week. We got Billy Danes of MOP on next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Follow me on IG at striving for perfection _43. And we'll catch y'all next week, man. Be safe.
No doubt, man. Don't forget to check out mrochelle.com for the finest, best handcrafted jewelry out there. Don't forget to check out the Team Liberation mindedmedia.com. That is Black Ops Stand Radio. The Rundown with Renee, Psychopatheist. My skin is my sin. Self-love is my rehab. Queens and Vibes. I know I am forgetting somebody. Oh, I'm sorry. Black Justice Initiative. Very dope. Very dope. And we looking to add. If you want to get on the My Skin is My Sin network, let us know. Shout out to my co-host, man, for rocking for so many years. And Brandon Scott, very, 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 very dope interview. Make sure you go out and vote for the king.
Punching on you, my nigga.
Stop it, man. Stop it, man. I mean, there's only so much I'm gonna say, man. He about to be the mayor. I ain't want to ruffle no feathers. I might come back to Baltimore.
Hey, yo, Brandon came on and bombed him, yo.
Stop it, man. Stop it with no East Coast bias, man. All of y'all from Baltimore got this. It's like the answers. It's like they tattoo the answers on your hand. This is what you said about Tupac. This is what you say about this. This is what you said. Like, oh, come on, man. Y'all say the exact same thing.
We got a real sense of respect for we recognize bars and real hip hop. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think y'all do, man. It's East Coast bias. Rest in peace to my moms and my pops. I love you and I miss you. And hit me up for one of these sweatshirts if you like. Intellectually Petty in the building. Other than that, I think we out. Oh, we did shout out No Not Safe for Ears. Shout out for the alley, man. That was definitely phenomenal. And shout out to Fred Hawthorne, man. The barbershop conversation. Shout out to you, King. Shout out to My Life in the Shy. And anybody that rock with us. Anyway, we out. Peace.
Peace.